We're live. Hello, welcome back to Matrix
Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Phil.
I'm Tina.
And we're here to do a free professional development workshop hour for teachers and educators about SEL. And I can't see the rest of it. So,
social emotional learning in a hybrid world.
In a hybrid world. Thank you. And how we do this is we wait for 4 more minutes.
We do.
Because it takes about that time for everybody to get on.
Yeah. Come in.
We just,
park your car.
We're up to over 100 of these crowdcasts. And so we know the timing of things. And so in the next 2 to 3 minutes, there will be another 10 to 20.
A lot of folks coming in
online. So we'll work it. In the meantime, we'll chit chat.
Yeah,
I'm up in Maine,
and I'm in Langhorne, Pennsylvania.
From New Jersey. All right,
from New Jersey. Very nice.
You're right across the river from Phil.
Oh yes, Langhorne.
Yep.
Right.
I'm in
New Mexico.
Mexico. Great. And those of you who are new, chat in who you are, where you're from.
We got right now. That's Manchester, England, too. That's not Manchester, New Hampshire, or whatever.
Nope. He's across the pond, as we say.
Way across the pond.
Afternoon, Paul.
Another here. Mexico. All right.
All right.
The land of enchantment.
So somebody said they already tried to do the certificate and received an email stating that there was an error. And the reason that would happen is if one of the questions was answered incorrectly. So try again after.
Yeah.
And see if it changes.
And that's a good thing to point out. Up at the top is a link, and it's also in the email they're going to get. Right, Tina?
You can scroll if you hover over the chat and then scroll. You can go up and down. And you can go to the top and find the link where Phil put that.
We put it in there, but it's also going to be in your email, the link that you will use to receive your certificate. Those of you who are new, that's the way you're going to get it.
Yep.
And you probably want to take that more towards the end because there's just two questions, right, Tina?
Just 2 questions.
Yeah, simple questions, but you pretty much want to be paying attention to what we're doing to be able to get them both right. Of course, if you don't get them right, what happens, Tina?
I'll do it again.
Try it again.
Right.
We're making it easy here.
It's not very severe.
That's right.
Punishment.
We're about learning.
Yes.
So we want you to learn stuff. What are we at? 103. 2 more minutes, and we will take off on this, folks, and do our thing.
Want to welcome any new folks here today. As Kevin said, we are Matrix Talk. We're here every week, 3 times a week. Tina usually joins us, and she has her own Crowdcast channel going too. And what we're here to do today is to show you our approach to social emotional learning in our hybrid world. That's what we're going to be trying to do today.
And I like to tell folks, you've heard about, you've met a person or something that knows something about SEL, and then you've met the person that wrote the book on SEL. Well, Phil wrote the trifold on SEL.
I did.
I got it right here.
And there is the trifold right there.
There's the trifold.
That is Phil. Phil's trifold.
It's not too far from me either.
And my gosh, that is one handy trifold.
It is. Yeah. You can take it and start doing it right away. And when you get your confirmation page from filling out the certificate feedback form and the email with the certificate, you will see a discount code so that you can order the trifold or multiples to share with all of your people.
Discount, right?
Yeah.
And people at National Professional Resources who I partnered with to develop the trifold were nice enough to offer us
the 105. We're just okay. Now we're going to start.
We're just now starting, Beth.
I'm going to make Phil the large screen here.
Yep.
All right. A few housekeeping while Kevin does that.
Take you through our point of view, and is it okay if we show folks the point of view that we use? We ask for permission. So
permission.
Once again, is it okay if we show you this point of view that we use? And then what you do is you go over there to the chat and you type in your response.
And we'll wait.
And we'll wait for the responses. And there's a yes.
Madison gives us a yes.
Hi, Madison.
Hello, Madison. Austin gives us a yes.
All right. All right.
Oh,
love the
shirt. Oh, yes. Well, yes, we'll get to the shirt stuff.
We're working on making the shirt orderable.
Yeses. All right. Okay.
Yeses. Okay. So
here it is.
Here's the point of view that we use. And you see there's a question in the lower right-hand part, which the question is, who's important to you? And so we literally say in the chat and out loud, who's important to us. So I will put in my dear wife.
Yep.
It is important to me.
So Hussein, who is important to you?
And Tina says the babies. Babies.
Tina's going to say her babies. Cool. We love babies. Anybody else? We have.
If anybody else has somebody.
Students.
All right. And we have more kids, and we got a mom.
Oh, mom. Family.
Families and learners and dogs.
Oh, we're flying.
Whoa.
And I'm getting coworkers.
Coworkers.
Oh, yeah. Check them out to me, folks, because I'm writing them down.
My boyfriend. Family, student.
Significant other. Look at that. Grandparents. Wow. All right.
And you got plenty.
We're flying by today.
We have many important people. Okay.
Pets.
And so
what I've done is I've just written them all down there in the lower right.
It starts there in the lower right. And then we go bebopping over, and we're going to fill in the lower left.
Yeah.
And that's where what we like to call yucky stuff goes.
Oh, God.
And
okay.
Most people are familiar with their yucky stuff. One of the most prevalent I fill in for you is fear. So fear doesn't feel good and you want to get rid of it. So it's uppy. So what is it's also known as difficult stuff to have, whatever. So fear is one of them. Anybody else have yucky stuff that shows up inside of you during your
overwhelmed?
Overwhelmed. That's a biggie. Shows up. Physical pain shows up. Conflict. Ooh.
Conflict. All right.
Stress. Oh no! Self-doubt has shown up.
Oh, there it is. Showing up early today.
Irritability and anxiety has shown
There's
up.
imposter syndrome.
Oh, boy.
We got it.
The big IS.
We're on the board.
It's the hard triad. It's there. Imposter syndrome.
Nobody's put it. Okay, I'm going to give you one. Let's put anger in there.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't put anger in.
I got anger.
This shows up. And despair. That's a popular one.
Anxiety. Got it. Yep.
Well, obviously, several people online are familiar with yucky stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. So now, and the one reason why we call it yucky is because, like, when you get something yucky on your fingers or on the bottom of your shoe,
you want to get rid of it.
You try and get it off.
You try to flick it away, all right? Anxiety.
You go scraping it on your shoe on the grass or whatever. It's icky. Well, that's an away behavior, by the way. You're trying to get rid of the yuckiness. And so we all have a large, what would we call it? Repertoire.
Of things that we do.
The yucky stuff. Yep. So like for fear, you just might book it. Just run. Go run.
And we can see you running, right?
And we can see you running. So it's up in the senses part. We can see you running. So this comes under the category that other people can see you doing this. So what other kind of good stuff might we do to get away from, like, pain? I see pain.
Oh, rest. Yes.
That's very nice.
Rest is very popular.
There we go. Popular. Meditation.
All right. Meditation.
Oh, Tina put in her wine with wine. Ignore, Jennifer. Ignore is very popular.
Ignore. All right.
Netflix is popular.
Yell and pray.
Pray is popular. Cry is popular. These are all very popular.
Pray, cry.
Yeah, chocolate.
Oh, he's got dance. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, travel's great. Oh, damn.
Travel.
Hey, do a little yoga, do a little sleep.
Clean and organize.
See, you guys got
Reading, isolating, avoiding, stretching, making lists. Yes.
our folks have
Procrastinating now. One of my personal
a
favorite.
nice repertoire of away trips. And notice we all do these things.
Yeah.
So this is not, we just do them because that's part of life. Having yucky stuff and wanting to get rid of it is part of life.
We do.
But of course, there's the other side of life, which is the behaviors that go in that upper right quadrant. And it's stuff where in our heart of hearts, we really want to do it to move closer to improve our relationships with who's important to us, right? So like for my wife, I might just go talk to her. Just haul off and talk to her. Strange concept, huh? And people can see me talking to my wife, right?
Absolutely. We can hear you talking to your wife.
There you go. And you can see, right? Any other behaviors that you folks do?
Listen, take a look at the babies.
You might notice my wife doing listening behavior. Back and forth.
The babies.
The babies. Oh. And definitely show respect. That's a biggie.
Oh, yeah. We like that one.
And that is a behavior.
Oh, respect, right?
Big time behavior thing of showing.
Something they see you doing.
What's some other stuff? Work.
Fold the laundry.
Fold the laundry.
There you go. Wash the dishes.
We're going to put in my favorite one. Feed them.
Yep.
Spend time, breathe slowly. Call them.
How about play, right? We do some playing maybe. Play with
we're over on the left. You can meditate over on the toward side. Yeah. Oh, bake. That's a goodie. Bake.
Baking.
Exercise goes over there. Read.
All right.
Ooh, forgive. I forgive you. Which is something we can say. Audio
yes.
Very much so toward me. Right. So now you guys got the hang of it.
Yep.
And so now what you do is you contemplate whether you might have the opportunity to notice all of that stuff showing up in the next week or so. So like who's important to you showing up, and yucky stuff showing up, and away moves showing up, and toward moves showing up. You might notice that stuff showing up in your life in the next week or so. And the Behavior Web says, yes, you might have that opportunity to notice.
Yes.
Is there anybody else
that thinks you may have the opportunity to notice this?
It
says yes. Chris, Melinda, yes.
We got some noticers.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Are we doing the second loop, Phil?
Oh, we should definitely do the second loop, Kevin.
Okay. So we got a second loop we do, folks.
Once we do one loop, we got to go into the second.
Because most people are at least part of a dyad, a couple. Two people, you and somebody else, and maybe many other people. And the question then in the lower right becomes, what's our shared purpose? And so we like to do these from the point of view of all of us online. Yes. And say, well, what's our shared purpose today?
So,
yes. What are we here for?
So what's brought you here?
What might be our shared purpose? And you think of it like all of us together. What wagon might we all be trying to pull?
Show the matrix. Well, that's our shared purpose.
We're prejudiced. We show that thing a lot.
Show the matrix. We just show it to anybody that will listen to us.
Basically. And then Kate has help others. There's
SEL, help others. That's right.
SEL, social emotional learning is definitely, it's in the title.
You got it. Come to the right place.
Nice.
SEL. Anything else that you would like to put up there as a shared purpose? Be a helper.
Right. Here, I'll put one. No. Learning.
There you go.
Collaboration. Exactly. There we go. So,
SEL across context. We like context.
I like that.
Oh, wow. SEL across context.
Good for Autumn. Ooh, she's getting fancy.
Really? I'm filling up this bottom part here pretty quick.
And so now that's the idea of
new tools.
Chatting with folks about shared.
Yep. And so you have that conversation.
You might find this hard.
Yes, for adults and students. Yep.
all of you may find this hard to believe, but sometimes in the context of working toward a shared purpose, you might notice yucky stuff showing up inside of you.
You just might.
You might.
Good chance there, folks. Good chance.
What kind of, now I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now that fear shows up. So we're just going to load this thing in there. Fear shows up. When you go,
again? Oh,
when you go to work with other people, fear shows up.
Fear's going to show up. The daylight savings. Daylight savings on the outside, but something shows up on the inside about daylight savings.
When you go,
it's dark.
What other kind of yucky stuff might you have noticed in the past? Competing priorities.
Ooh, different viewpoints. Competition.
Big egos, big time.
Differences.
I'm going to put in the obvious one, anger. There's another one. I got fear and anger. I sort of get right down to the...
Yeah. And I'm going to go with jealousy. I'll throw jealousy in there too.
And followed right, horse running right next to anger, jealousy.
Yeah.
And Hussein says the desire to be right.
Oh,
yeah.
I like that with a capital
R-I-T.
We can either do it my way or the wrong way.
Yeah, you got two ways you can go here.
I think I need that up here, my way or the wrong way.
Right.
Guilt, there's one. Guilt,
yes. Why? There you go.
Comparison, fear of the unknown. More imposter syndrome.
Oh no.
Again with the imposter syndrome.
We started, folks, we're saying that because a few weeks ago, we started noticing imposter syndrome showing up in these chats.
Oh, wow.
So we're just like, wow, that is really in the news these days.
And we even did a crowdcast on it if you want to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, we did.
How to overcome your imposter syndrome.
Yep.
Well, we could help you with that.
Yeah.
We do that kind of stuff. Okay, so now we have all that on board. In the context of working with other people, we all have a repertoire of away boos. Okay, so you might imagine yourself sitting in a meeting. Okay, define imposter syndrome. Ooh, it's all over the net. I'm going to go ahead with away moves. You might notice yourself sitting in a meeting back in pre-COVID days, or even during COVID, Zoom meeting, and you go, yuck. And then you do a behavior. What kind of behaviors do you do to lessen
in that social context we're talking about?
In the context of this shared purpose, working with other people stuff. Or maybe people, they don't. You just have your yucky stuff and don't do it.
Passive listening, distracted.
Distracted, avoid people, check out, zone out.
Yep, check out, zone out. All right.
Here, I'll put one in. My beloved phone. Otherwise known as check your phone.
Well, in these days, we can open another tab.
Yeah, you go. This one is just don't show up. That's the one that I like.
So yes, the two most popular on this, folks, are don't show up.
Oh yeah, get somebody else to do it, Autumn. I like that.
Somebody else to do it. Actually, if you go to noticing on this, you'll notice a whole bunch of stuff. You'll notice a whole bunch of stuff showing up in that upper left. So now we're going to beam up over to the upper right. And of course, this is $1 million question because depending on where you're working, who you're working with, the upper right will shift. But there are some universals. And I'll give you the first one in the upper right, which is communication. So we'll tell you that in order for people to work together, they communicate. Verbally, non-verbally.
Which implies speaking.
They're going to communicate.
Which implies speaking. Yeah.
Whatever. So.
Yes. Nice work, is that?
And so they are respect.
Yes, and that's how we're going to do it. Respect.
Absolutely huge one is communicate with respect. There you go. That's a universal. And more listening is another.
And more listening. You can never do Too much listening. Right?
No teams we've ever worked with, and they number in the hundreds, maybe thousands.
Patience.
That
Show up. That's the big
all
one.
of this stuff is universal.
Showing up is what starts the show.
Show up, be compassionate, listen, show respect. It goes active listening. You got all that good stuff. And all with all of that good stuff on board, of course, you then talk about making the widgets.
Yep. Yeah, put that one at the top, Kevin. Who's going to do what?
Right. I mean,
have that conversation.
But that entirely depends on what your team is doing.
Yep.
You know, or what you and your wife or husband or whoever are doing. You know, it depends. But all the communication, respectful behaviors, compassion, empathy, all that. Did we get empathy in there?
Yes.
It's down here.
Wrote it.
Empathy is a big
Down here, I got it.
But anyway, all of that stuff is part of the upper right. And so finally, we finished this up with the big, do you think you'll have the opportunity to notice shared purpose and social yucky stuff and social away moves and shared purpose toward moves showing up in the next week or so of your life? What do you think? You think you might have the opportunity to notice that between now and next Monday? Madison says yes.
Casey, yes.
Yes,
We got yeses.
we have at least a couple of yeses.
Yeses. All right.
And congratulations, folks. You have just successfully made it through 2 loops of the ACT matrix. The first one's actually called the original ACT matrix.
This one here.
And the second one has the cute name of the pro-social matrix. But even cuter, the first one is called the me matrix, and the second one is called the we matrix.
We.
The me and the we. So
Me and the we.
well,
Just take that letter and flip it upside down.
Flip it upside down, right? And sort of rotate it and all that good
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. That's a good point.
And so now we've done that, and so Phil's in charge here.
All right.
Next thing.
So what we're going to do now, folks, and we're going to have Tina is going to be helping me out here with her online whiteboard, because this is billed as a hybrid kind of a thing. So this is something that you can do either with your students or without your students. Either way, it works out just fine. So we wanted to show you the more manual, low-tech version, which is, all you need is a.
We just did that.
Right?
Yep.
Did that. This is a little whiteboard. It'll work fine for the purposes of when you're working with someone. If you're working in a building or you're in a classroom or a school,
and we all keep them handy. I've got lots of them.
You can have it up on a chalkboard or on a whiteboard or on a smart board. That works just fine. I usually would have one right behind me. But what we're going to do right now is what we just did with you folks. You would be doing the same thing with your students. It's going to work the same way. And I just remembered that March of 26th is National SEL Day, folks. Did you guys know that?
Oh, I didn't know that. It's not on my calendar.
Yeah. It's National SEL Day, where we're kind of do something for SEL. So we are way ahead of the curve here because it is.
Your thing, the focus screen, Tina?
Yeah.
So if we can do that, there you go. All right. So Tina's going to bring up her.
Oh, that looks weird. There you go.
So Tina has an online. Oh, preschoolers. Yeah. Okay. We can pull this off with preschoolers too.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
We even have the video.
Yeah. Tina's done it with her preschooler.
I did it with my 3-year-old.
Yes. I personally have done it as low as 4 up to we have adults, folks.
I wasn't doing it, but I watched somebody else do it with 4-year-olds.
Yep. And it was cute. Yes.
It was very cute. It's always cute with 3 and 4-year-olds. And we use pictures.
Yeah. Or you can move people around, have
you can do all kinds.
You can do sing a song. There's all kinds of things.
I guess the way to say it is with that crowd, it's less verbal.
Yeah. less verbal, more non-verbal, more Dewey kind
more
of
pictures, more.
Yeah, there you go, Monica. Yeah, you're thinking. See, now what you're doing, Monica, is you're coming up with a way to use it, and that's basically we show people the basic, simple point of view, and folks like yourself always come up with a way that they could take it and apply it. So
to apply that to something else, real quick, I have a picture of the Matrix being done in a tent in Afghanistan with non-English speaking women who have been traumatized, and they're pasting little pictures up on the Matrix because they didn't have a shared language, so they're just using literally pictures of stuff. Really interesting.
Yeah, clip art for the digital. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got it. See, you're cooking, Monica. You're cooking now.
Yep.
And toward what Kevin was saying, when I first started teaching and training teachers, I got a wonderful picture that a teacher sent to me of one of her students, a 6-year-old student, doing it with chalk out on the playground on the asphalt. He was actually doing the Matrix himself on the asphalt. So there's all kinds of different cool ways that you can use. But what we're going to do is we're going to draw those 2 lines again. And now the idea here would be, just like we did with you folks, you would be doing the same thing with your students. So if you notice, go back to what the first thing that we did, what Kevin did, is the first thing that we do is we ask for permission. The first question that Kevin asked was, do anybody remember? I'll tell you. Kevin remembers. Good. Kevin, tell him.
I asked if it's okay if we show you the point of view that we use.
And then we waited.
Then we waited. Right.
If you notice, we paused until folks started weighing in.
People started answering in the chat. Well, and people started saying yes. If everybody said no, we would have to stop.
Yeah. We wouldn't do it.
We're that respectful.
But let me tell you something, folks. No one has never not given us permission yet.
Because if you ask somebody, hey, can I show you this point of view that I use? They literally, it's 100%.
Yeah.
They say, sure.
Okay.
Right.
You can show it to me.
Everybody says yes.
Right. They all say yes. And then you show them, then you do the next question.
Right.
It's just pretty important to do that.
It's super important, especially when you're working with young people.
It may have something to do with social, emotional. What do you think, Phil?
Well, I like to say, Kevin, and you know this, that we don't talk about social emotional learning. We do. We model it.
Demonstrate it.
Right from the very beginning. With a simple, respectful, is it okay if I show you something?
Well, I can show the opposite.
Let's do the other way.
Okay. You guys have come here to learn about social emotional intelligence, and you better sit there and listen because there's going to be a quiz later on. And if you don't pass
notes and eyes forward, and
there's going to be some freaking dire consequences.
Put your cell phones away, do all that stuff.
So you got that? You sit in your.
Now let me teach you how to be social.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You know, I'm sort of exaggerating, but it really often comes across that way. You know, and so you're going to nail social emotional intelligence onto people.
Right.
And that ain't the way it's going.
Don't word that way. Don't word that way.
And you need to respectfully invite them into the process. And that's what we're talking about.
That's what we do.
And so just a word to the wise.
Yep. So next step, now we have our diagram up, and we're going to ask that same question that we asked before, which is, hey, who's important to you?
We ask kids that. We even ask 3-year-olds that.
So now you can, if you want, be a kid. What do you think?
Let's all be kids.
Yeah.
You get to be a kid.
About this training is you get to be a kid.
And okay, here. I know what to say. I said bats.
Oh, great. So bats are important to you. And guess what he was going to do?
And notice how
Going up on the board.
Phil says, "Oh, cool, bats are important to you," and he put them right up there.
Just
That's
like
what you do, folks.
And, and now they're coming in. We got friends. We got my mom, mommy. That's my dog. Oh, Iron Man. Yeah, Iron Man.
Very important. Yes.
The cat, my pet turtle. I love it. My iPad. Absolutely. That's what they say. Dessert. Oh, yeah.
Dessert.
Me too, I say. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
And just a point, and some of you might think, well, some of this aren't who's.
Yeah.
Well, we don't make that distinction.
We don't.
Candy's fine too. We just put it up there. that's
we take what they say and it goes right up. If Candy's a who for you, that's fine with me. It's going up on the board.
We put it up on
my phone. Austin says, "There you go." Right.
Phones are important. We put them on the board.
Yep.
We do not discriminate. We just
loved ones. Absolutely.
Of course, there's a very specific purpose for that, and people might understand why we're so accepting of what anybody says to put up there, including bats and rodents and anything else. Colleagues are important. Yeah, see, you put it up there. You forgot
the rock. Put the rock up there.
We all got.
Shane wants the rock up.
My rock.
Rock.
Pet rock.
Most kids got a rock.
Hey, Hussein, does your rock have a name?
I didn't name it, but we're good with that. So we're going
to go right into it.
So that's how this works. It looks just like this.
And now think about, folks, how it's feeling to you on the inside as you recall your important people and the stuff that's important to you. How is that feeling on the inside?
As you're recalling all of this important,
bringing that up inside of you.
Right. You're bringing that up, and that's what you're looking for, is people conversing about this warm, fuzzy feeling stuff that we like.
If we want to be social with folks and we want them to be social with us,
right?
We want to start with social.
We're starting with this easy stuff.
Yeah, there you go. Makes me
feel valued and calming.
Yeah,
right. That's exactly
that's exactly what happens with your kids, Monica. Is they feel
we've
valued.
done this from 3-year-olds to 90-year-olds.
It works like a charm.
Works like a charm.
And you could even just have a conversation about who's important to you if you wanted to. We're not going to start there, but that's
things that make you feel good. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So now that we've got that going, right? Yeah, you're feeling heard. Exactly.
Well, everybody's feeling heard, and we're not being corrected either, right? Oh. Everything's right. Everything's cool.
Yep.
Whatever they say is okay. It's going to go up on the board.
Okay, we're just putting it right up there on the board. And now we're going to move over valued and appreciated, all of that stuff.
All of that stuff.
Remember that list of stuff that we said that you do when you're in a team meeting and you communicate with people with respect and dignity and all that? We're doing that. We're just doing that. Right?
We are modeling what we said to model.
Right. We want social. We want to be social.
Right.
So then it's not too long before we're going to be sliding over there into the lower left. And you folks already know what goes in the lower left. Anybody want to type in about what goes in the lower left?
Or what question would we ask? What question?
What might we ask them?
And we make it really folksy, easy, that even a 3-year-old would understand.
Yeah, the yucky stuff. You got it.
And 3-year-olds get yucky stuff.
Yep.
They get that really well.
What kind of yucky stuff shows up inside of you?
My 3-year-old says the sticks. Sticks are hard. And the bugs.
Right. Bugs, whatever.
Fine.
And people they start writing in their yucky stuff.
And then I would still do the fear. I like to put fear in.
We seed it with fear, right?
Right. Because that's the biggie. Big feelings. When mommy asked me to do things. Yeah, so right.
And
exactly.
when mommy asked me to do things.
Yeah.
We know about that.
Parents getting in my business. And then now what shows up on the inside of you when your parents are getting in your business?
Yeah, say, do you know? And the questions, Chris, would be, so you're thinking of your parents getting in your business.
Yeah.
What kind of feeling, would show up? And people they'll give you an answer. Annoyed. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And Hussein, when your brother's messing with your rock, what do you notice show up inside?
Right. And you'll get the annoyed, anger.
Frustration. There you go.
Pissed off.
Right.
That kind of stuff.
Anger. Right. Anybody got some other ones?
How about when mom and dad go out of town without me? What feelings do you notice showing up there?
Oh no.
Now they're not going to say feelings of abandonment. They're going to say something different.
Say that.
Some might, but
Annoyed's a good one.
Don't touch my thing.
Don't touch my stuff. That's it. Avoid.
All right.
Sadness. Yeah. Now, and kids have said worry. They'll say worry shows up.
But notice, folks, as I play in the Greek chorus here, what we've done is if we had started with this lower left stuff, we'd have trouble on our hands. But we didn't start with the lower left stuff. We started with the lower right stuff.
Right.
And that got us, warm and fuzzy and ready to go almost humorously talk about this yucky stuff.
Right.
So that it's easy to get out in the open and talk about. So there's a very purposeful reason why we're going from the right to the left.
So right.
We don't want to avoid the yucky stuff, but we don't want to lead with the yucky stuff.
We want them to be in touch with the yucky stuff in a very easygoing way.
Easygoing way, right? Easygoing.
So that it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to name it, and then we're also going to put it up on the board.
Yeah.
So now we're getting at the emotional world of the student, and the student's actually bringing it up.
And they're bringing it up and putting it up on the board.
Right.
So works like a charm.
It does. And they do just what we're doing here. They begin to give you a nice list of yucky stuff.
And we write it out no matter what.
We write it out.
We write it out. We write it out.
And while they're doing that, they may even say, "Oh, I thought about someone else who's important to me," which is great.
And you say, "Oh, we can always go back and fill that."
Yeah,
just like that.
Can I write it down here? How about Nemo?
There you go.
There we go.
We'll add Nemo.
And by the way, folks, if you do start getting that means that your students are buying in more and more to this point of view that you are showing them.
Yep.
And it works just like a charm.
Yep.
So after we've had that conversation about yucky stuff, we're going to bebop up to the upper left again. And now the question's going to be about what? Anybody want to take a gander? What's the question we're going to be asking now?
Folksy. Remember, folksy.
Nice and easy, breezy, folksy.
You're the 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
And all of us are 3-year-olds. So it works for all of us.
All right.
These are behaviors.
Yeah. The things that we might see you do.
Well, you could even say, I'll give it to them. Like, if somebody was afraid, what might you see them doing?
Oh, here you go. Amanda says, "What do you do when you feel that yucky stuff?"
There you go.
That's right. What do we do to get away from these feelings?
Right.
Yeah. What do you do to move away from the yucky stuff?
And to help out, I'll help out.
Yeah.
With that, okay, if somebody was really afraid, what might you see them doing? And the 3-year-olds will say,
"What are you going to do?"
They have a really popular one in that age group.
Yeah.
They'll talk about. It has to do with a bed. Anybody get it? Okay, how about under the bed? No, they run. They hide under the bed. They hide in the closet. Right.
That's what I did when I was that age. I remember that.
I thought the monsters were under the bed.
Yeah.
Well, now you're in trouble.
Yeah. That's only at night, Tina. They're not there during the day. Now, come on.
Zane has the correct. It's some form of run or hide.
Yeah, run or hide. Yeah,
run or hide. Right. And then you just go on from there.
And
Now
that's
they
it.
know what
Now
they
they
know what
got
you
it.
mean.
right. So now you can take one of those things. So like if the annoyed shows up inside of you, what do you do to move away from that annoyed stuff?
If you're feeling annoyed, what do you do?
What might I see you do? And
Everybody,
just make something up. Somewhere.
everybody think.
They're pondering.
I'm annoyed. What might I do?
My brother's messing with my pet rock.
I don't like that feeling of annoyed.
So I'm going to do something.
Going to do something.
Something you'll see me do. Oh, listen to music. Okay.
There you go.
There you go. Listen to music. Yeah. Noise show.
Wonder. Hell yeah. There you go.
And his saying to this day, I listen to music when I'm works like a charm.
And then the other is what I was thinking of is you whack your brother over the head because he's
hit and yell, roll my eyes.
Yeah, and then Natalie, you can go right for the jugular and go to the hip and the yelling. Yes, and I've gotten that many times.
Stomp your feet and yell, and we put all of this stuff down, folks. We put it down. We just
rabbit, stomp feet.
Yeah, lock the door. All right, lock the door.
There we go.
Yeah.
So now you see how we've gotten into it, folks. So now we're connecting up yucky stuff with behaviors to get relief.
Right.
And that, my friends, is social emotional intelligence.
That's it.
If you can connect up your behaviors with your yucky stuff and see from this point of view that you're doing that, that's a big deal.
You are in a much better position to move forward in your life.
That's a very big deal.
It's huge.
And,
it's huge.
I mean, even like scientifically, it's a really big deal. It's called perspective taking, if you want to know what it is. And
go ahead.
Well, and you haven't said, it's really important for you all to know a perspective taking.
I was just going to go there.
Let me teach you about perspective taking. Well, that's going to fall on deaf ears. I don't even want to learn about that. The hell with that. But do I want to talk about fun stuff that I do to whack my kid brother over the head because I'm annoyed with him? Yeah,
exactly.
Monica says it seems so simple, and yet here I am with my mind blown.
It is a mind blower.
Monica, me too. Every time I do this,
and really, when you think about it, Monica, what we're doing is, and we talk about this, we're taking what they already know, what you already know, and they're using it to discover what works for them.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing.
And just so you folks know, so later on, when some kid or somebody says to you, oh, I was yelling and stomping my feet. You go, oh, cool.
Okay, cool. So you were noticing.
So what were you noticing inside yourself right before you started yelling and stomping your feet? Then they may say, oh, I was annoyed.
Oh, okay.
No, you didn't yell at them for yelling and stomping their feet. You just brought them back to the process so they could see the process.
See where their behaviors are taking them is what I would say. Great during collaboration. Yes, exactly. This works on all levels, Leanne.
Yep. Yeah.
Someone
said something about, wide scope. This has wide.
Well, I tell you.
Kevin will say it. Yeah.
It only works with language to humans.
That's it. You have to stop with the humans.
Yes.
Aardvarks, don't try this with the aardvarks. It's not
aardvarks and stuff. No.
Only works with humans who have language.
And
some kind of verbal repertoire to interact with, pictures.
But that language might just include pictures.
Yeah.
Yep.
That might be what you got to go with.
And that's
signs.
That'll work.
Yeah. Yep. We could do it.
Yeah.
And you're acknowledging and you're exactly. So now we've got those 3 quadrants filled up, and you can see that there's one more left that we want to slide over to, right?
Oh, no, it's empty. Oh, my gosh, it's empty.
Yep. And if you'll notice, we're also enhancing it. If you notice what Tina does and what I did is we're drawing those arrows up to enhance that idea that that yucky stuff shows up and you're moving away from yucky stuff.
And by the way, at this point, you are taking advantage of the human desire to fill up that upper right.
Yeah. It's speaking to you right now.
Speaking
Yeah.
to all of us,
Wait, what goes there?
it's blank, and we want to fill it up. And it's
Oh,
like, okay, well, what kind of behaviors might we do? Well, we'll take the first one.
Yeah.
Bats. What kind of behaviors might you do
What do you do?
move toward your relationship with bats?
What might I see you do to move toward that bat of yours?
Right. And
Something simple.
Oh, I go out in the evening and watch them.
There you go. Cool. So you'd be watching the bats.
Then there I go. So I go evening watching bats, and it just goes in the upper right, just like that.
Oh, Madison, yes, is the answer to that one, Madison. Madison asked, do you draw pictures or they draw it or you draw it? Yes.
Any of that works.
It all works.
Or you might sort out icons. Give them icons
you
to go and
when you do this that they're going to want to take that pen and write some stuff down, which would be way cool in my book.
So and then you go, okay, there's mom down there. So what might you do to move toward mom?
We got listen to my parents.
Somebody said listen.
Ooh.
Hang out with them, clean my room.
If you're older, you might call mom.
Yep.
Call mom. Candy, what might you do to move toward Candy?
Oh.
We can have fun with this.
We certainly can.
Well,
I sneak into the pantry to get it.
There it is.
Or hey, I could get my brother to get it for me.
Yeah.
But he's tall enough to get it.
Yeah, he can get it because I know where they stuff it, way up there at the top. And then with your friends, what do they want to do with their friends, right?
Love anything.
Yeah.
All of it goes up there. But notice the literal word we use is framing. We're framing it up with moving toward that important stuff. So the important stuff is in mind, and now the thoughts of the behavior to move toward that stuff is related to it. We're strengthening that relationship in doing that. And once again, with perspective taking, with taking a step back and looking. And so now we finish up.
Now we come to the middle.
Anybody know what we finish up with? Do you remember? We've all done this a few times.
Yeah, we know it.
You may be new at this.
Yeah. So we're going to give you a hint. We're going to come to the middle.
He's going to draw a circle.
And we're going to draw a circle.
No.
And we're going to write a word in there.
Now we're going to and this for your learning. The way you ask this is, I mean, you don't have to do it this way. No. This is just an added little twist that cranks this up, which and it's asked with this. Do you think you'll have the opportunity to notice in the next week or so? You heard me say that. In the next week or so. In the next week. Why am I saying, do you think you might have the opportunity to notice this stuff in the next week or so? There's I am talking from science in asking it that way.
There's a lot of research behind this.
All right. There's tons of research behind that question. Anybody, why is it done that way? Why would it? Now, you don't have to do it that way.
Yeah.
It'll work without it. But it's just an added little bonus if you remember.
Bring them to awareness.
Check commitment. You've heard me say it before, and I'll say it again. There's this thing called perspective taking.
Opportunity to act, right. Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of perspective taking?
You've been doing it this whole time.
Important, but the science part of it is perspective taking. And what you're doing is doing a little training for a fellow human of yours, to be able to notice from the perspective of, here I am right now, and this me right here, right now, can see out a week ahead of time. And that is a big leap in perspective taking. And you just trained it You just gave it another training episode. And especially for your little kids, they may not be used to doing that.
Yeah.
And you're back in it. This whole thing is about it's the training of perspective taking in using it in an emotional intelligence is what it is. So that's what that's for. Yeah. All the rest of your stuff is perfectly correct, but the biggie is that additional perspective taking. Because now I can imagine myself in the future and, dare I say, the consequences of my current actions in my future life.
Where are my actions taking me?
Right. Where are these actions that I'm doing, both toward and away?
Right.
Where are they propelling me toward next week? That's what you're doing.
Yeah. And while you're doing that, you're also doing this perspective taking right there in the moment where here I am with my important stuff, with my yucky stuff, with my away moves, and with my toward moves. And now I'm taking in a wider field, a bigger field of perspective and vision, which I can now carry with me. The cool thing about this is it doesn't end when you're done showing them the diagram, because now you've handed them a perspective that they can look at things from, look at themselves.
And they can go draw it with a piece of chalk on asphalt.
Yep. Yeah. Or with their mommy on a whiteboard in the living room.
Right.
Or a Sharpie on the wall.
Right.
No big deal.
They will go and do that.
That's going to take a couple of coats of paint to cover
just
that.
A little bit.
Anyway, we're having fun, but that's what's going on with this. And it's fun.
Yeah.
Now you can, in a classroom, go ahead and do another loop.
Yeah, so let's, we got some time. Let's go ahead and do a second loop.
Anybody know what the second loop sounds like? I'm going to tell you right now, it starts with 2 lines. And there's the second one. And yes, take your eyes to the lower right.
And what goes in the lower right? Now we're not
going to ask the who's important to you question this time, because we're doing the we matrix. So we're going to do the what question.
Oh, okay. Now let's look. I'm just going to give it to you. What is our shared purpose?
Just give it. It's our shared purpose. Now, with a little kids, you might use a different question. What are we working for today?
What are we here for? What are we
trying to do? Whatever.
What brings you in today?
Most folks, what's our shared purpose will work just fine.
Right.
And then you find out. You have them do it.
Yep.
Kids in school will say learn.
What are they going to say to you? They're going to say learn, right? What else are they going to say?
Say all kinds of cool stuff.
I'm going to put see my friends.
See my friends. That's probably even before learning that I have heard over
lunch.
the years. Eat lunch. Play. Recess. I hear
recess.
A lot. Right.
I got a PhD in recess.
Oh, here's one, folks, and I heard this a lot. I'm only here because my mom makes me come to school.
Yeah, from home.
So guess what we're going to do with that?
Right.
Where's that going?
And it goes right up there.
It's going to go right up there. I'm going to say, cool.
Recess is a biggie. Yes, you bet.
And now, there you go. Yep.
And with kids, we put it all up there. Sure.
That's it. And this is exactly what they're going to say. And then you could be saying whatever you're there for.
Phil used to work in sort of rough school there. They might even say
the law
to avoid getting beaten at home.
Well, that would be a useful thing to do then.
Right. And he would write up to avoid getting beaten at home. Put that up there.
Yeah. Now they might also say they're there to get credit or they're there to graduate. That could be something that they're going to tell you.
Stay out of jail.
Yep. Maybe get a job.
Satisfy my probation.
Satisfy my PO.
Tell the people I used to work with.
Oh, I heard that too. Yeah. Get away from my little brother.
Get away from siblings.
That's it. Yeah.
And we write it down there.
So whatever is their reason, we're going to put, and there can be more than one purpose, folks, right? There could be multiple purposes here.
Because, we're all in this together.
And when you're with the group, what we're doing here is we're having everybody weigh in. I'm trying to get everybody to kind of give me what you show up for today. So now everybody gets to participate.
And once a couple of them start seeing those more, nefarious things, then they'll go, "Oh, I can put my stuff up there."
Yeah.
And they'll put it up there.
Or you could be like Ali Sheedy from Breakfast Club, who came to detention, and the reason why she was there because she had nothing better to do that day.
That was fabulous.
Yeah,
I just didn't have anything better to do.
No.
And you write it up there. Because this is not about saying no to people.
No.
It's about getting their stuff up on the board. And now you talk about the yucky stuff.
There we go.
And here we go again.
You know the drill now, folks, right?
If you want to, you can seed it with fear, because that's always there.
I like doing
Yes,
that.
Hussein, we do the me matrix first and then the we matrix second.
Yeah.
So individual, shared purpose.
Yeah. When you first show it, you want to show the individual matrix first. Later on, if you're working with a group,
until you get really facile with it, and then you might see a time when you might reverse it or something.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's fine. But initially you want to practice the me and then the we. That's the practice. Do that 25.
And it's also social and emotionally consistent, because first thing you're doing is connecting them up with their own stuff, and now you're going to connect them up with what's going with the rest of the people around them.
Yeah.
So you're going in, and then you ended up doing this pro-social thing. This is also called the pro-social matrix, right, Kevin?
Yeah, that one. I forgot that name.
That one.
I'd like to mention that, because what happens when you do it is, guess what happens, folks? People become pro-social when you do this. It's amazing.
It works like a charm.
I really do.
Cool.
So what other kinds of social yucky stuff now could be showing up as we are moving toward our shared purpose?
How about hate?
Oh,
I'm channeling my rough crowd.
yeah.
I'm not smart enough.
Well, here's one.
Smart enough.
Tired. Okay, tired. I'm going to put down.
Hungry.
And bored.
Oh.
That was the triad in my school. Tired, hungry, and bored.
Bored. Yep. There we go.
Boring.
Also, the thought I don't want to be here. When I would hear.
Yes, I feel sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
We put it all up there because it's
You got it.
How about I'm not
Body.
cool
Oh yeah,
enough.
absolutely.
You betcha.
Not cool enough. Gotta go potty.
I'm not cool enough.
Stomach aches, headaches. There you go. Oh, Beth, you've been there before.
And we write all this stuff down.
Just like that. So then that's going to lead us, as we now know, we're doing our loop.
To the upper left.
Now we're heading up to the world of behaviors again.
What kind of stuff might you do?
I'd rather play, Monica.
Me too.
Okay, so play. There you go. Let's put play.
Let's just put play in the upper
That's
left.
great. Play into it.
Yep. I'm
To
out.
avoid that stuff, I'm going to go play.
See you play.
Or I'm gonna hide in the bathroom.
Fear of bullies. Oh, that goes down the bottom. Yeah,
Down there.
Oh.
Very
so if you got a fear of bullies showing up, something on the outside you might see you
Just
do.
don't go to school then.
Yeah, which be stay home.
So,
Yeah.
And you just hit on one of the big reasons why a lot of my kids would not come to school,
there you go.
and they would just stay home
Let's stay home.
to avoid their fear of bullies.
Yep.
And a lot else, of course.
Or start fights to scare the bullies.
Well, that's the
off.
other opposite thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, if you can't.
Well, Corey says draw. He's a child
Draw.
after your own heart, Phil. Phil was a drawer.
Oh man, big dude.
My teacher hates me.
Love
I will
to.
put that here.
Oh, that goes down the bottom. Teacher hates me.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
So one of the things I might do.
Then upper left, skip school. A very popular truancy answer.
Absolutely. You got it. Skip school.
Yeah, that's it.
Anybody else got one?
And notice we just put it all up there.
Yeah.
We're not judging this.
Nope.
We don't judge. We just put it up there.
Something else you might want to notice here, folks, is there is no amount of telling anybody what to do here. If you've noticed through our whole presentation, We don't tell anybody what to do. There is no coercion in this at all.
Because we're just training people how to look at things from a point of view.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're not trying to tell them what to do. We're showing them how to look at life from this.
How they can look at themselves and others.
And the only way we can really do that genuinely is to simply show them, and with no judgment about what they get up there. So,
Hey, Phil or Kevin.
Yeah.
Hussein has to run, and I wonder if some people might need to. Can you drop the link for the certificate form in there again?
Yeah, I could probably do that. Let me just
in the chat, or I can go up.
I can put it in there again. Hold on, I got it.
Okay.
Copy in the link.
Yep.
And they're going to get the for the trifold. Is that going to be in the email?
Yes,
the
that
link
will be in the email.
Yeah. So before you go, there is going to be a discount for that trifold if you decide to go check that out. But that's not through us. That's through the NPR people. That one. Yeah. It's got it all in there.
you got it. I didn't.
We're going to keep going because we have an urge to complete this.
I know. I got to complete this.
Now, and I'm going to jump back because the thing also that we didn't mention is that you get curious. Right. And that's kind of what this is all about. Kids get curious and they start leaning in more and more into what you're doing with them when you're working from this point of view.
Yeah, because you just had a good time with the fighting and the skipping school.
And they're liking it.
They're liking it.
They're all in now.
So they're thinking this person's cool. They
yeah.
Talk about shit.
And
they're
now
not telling you not to do that? What?
Yeah.
Hold on.
And I worked with some let's put them the old reluctant learner, let's just put it that way, right? And it would never fail that within a couple of minutes, you'd have them working with you and not against you, which was a very cool thing to see with this particular crowd. So anyhow, now we're up here and now we're going to have that conversation about, hey, folks, what can we do to move toward those shared purposes that we just talked about down there? What do you think? What kinds of things can we be doing here? And then they're going to start telling you.
They're going to start telling us.
So, anybody got one? Well, I'm going to give him credit right away because I said, you already does something really super important today. You know what it was? What was it, folks?
I know what it is.
Go ahead.
Right.
Give it away.
Showed up.
They showed up. Right?
The world is run by people who show up.
Not people who think about showing up. You got to show up. The thinking doesn't count.
And I'm not going to say this right away, but they're showing up, folks, with their yucky stuff. Okay.
Yeah. All of us have it, whatever we
because that's what we all do all day long, isn't it, folks? We show up with our yucky stuff and do stuff.
And then we do stuff.
Okay. So we have engage. Someone said, Cindy said engage. Melinda said sit with friends at lunch. Yep, there you go.
And you're taking all that yucky stuff with you.
There you go. The whole time.
And that is really getting into social learning. Right.
Yep.
Because now you want them to start to notice that they can have that yucky stuff and still do this social stuff.
Yeah.
That moves you toward a shared purpose.
Yep.
And that's the idea.
And then if we draw that circle in the middle, like we've been doing, the other thing that they can now, or they're now learning how to do, is how to kind of come together as a group and help each other out.
And do you think you might have the opportunity to notice this stuff in the next week or so? Notice how I got that in quick.
Yep. That's the Kevin question. We let him say that.
Well, it works. I'm pumping up those perspective.
Absolutely.
Muscles, so.
Yep. Yeah.
Any chance we get to pump up perspective, we're going to take it. And you can do the same thing.
And so she says, yes, that's right.
There you go.
If you think of the self as perspective taking, and there's a very complicated book that's for the book, which is the self as perspective taking. And if you'll just think about that and you keep asking people those kinds of questions, know that you're building up their self.
Yep.
It's a self. And it's a cool thing to do.
It really is.
Is anyone else still getting an air? Oh, I'm not. I'm not into that.
All right, we could check that.
Huh. Yeah, send me.
Tina is the guru
Email.
of these things. So.
Yeah, each time I try it works. But let me.
We'll check it out.
Yeah, send me an email if you still.
Danielle says me too. Yeah.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me see. There might be one setting that I need to adjust. Give me 1 second.
So while Tina's adjusting, if anybody has any questions they want to throw in.
Cindy wanted me to go back to this so that Cindy could take a picture of it. So that was our.
Oh, how nice.
And don't forget, folks, the recording is going to be here, so you can come back to it.
Oh, you can always come back to this.
And you can even
come back.
If you go to the lower left, there's a clip moment that you can actually you click on it. If it's lower left of your browser, you clip it, and it would clip this whole little segment for you if you want. Or any segment you want, for that matter.
It does. Cool stuff.
And you can share it with your friends.
Yep, and you go up to the top and share it too. You could also follow us if you want. If you go up to the upper right, we have a follow button.
The upper right, you can follow us.
And that green button down below will take you to a whole 8 hours of more.
If you really want to
SEL talk with us,
dive deep
into
and we've got behavior analysis, CEUs, and professional development certificates for that as well.
Yeah, cool stuff.
I am trying to pull up the certificate, guys. Although it looks like it's working for some people.
I don't know.
Well, I'm going to try.
Is there an Instagram linked? We do have an Instagram, actually.
Ooh.
The Act Matrix Academy has an Instagram, and the Consultant Collective has an Instagram.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, very nice.
It's very active. It's not active.
I'm going to check here.
We get followers, so
We do.
let's see. We got social emotional learning, and the settings. Oh yeah, it's not restricted to anyone. Okay, so let's just real quick do the quiz. The ACT matrix can best be described as functional tool.
Oh,
it is not. I mean, it is a cool movie. That's right. But The Matrix is a cool movie. But the ACT matrix,
ACT, ACT in front of it,
a functional tool to promote psychological flexibility, and toward and away moves refer to the purpose or function of the behavior. So, in what direction do our behaviors take us? Do they take us toward
satisfaction and what's important to us,
which is also known as positive reinforcement,
or are they taking us away from that ucky stuff feeling?
Oh, that's
trying to get relief.
That's another one.
Yeah.
Negative reinforcement. Yes.
Yep.
And you do that all day long, folks.
That's called plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Yep. Low water relief it is.
It's the old Alka-Seltzer.
That's negative.
No code words, Amelia. There's just 2 quiz questions.
That's
Number 1, the ACT matrix is a functional tool for increasing psychological flexibility, and toward and away moves are the function or the purpose of our behavior. So
there you go.
Positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. So the function, that's toward and away moves. Guys, I just discovered this fun little laser pointer.
I see you're having fun with it.
Oh, nice. Fun. All right.
Yeah. Thank you guys for attending.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon. We'll be back.
All right. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.